I actually had a random thought today about like the center rotation that we can definitely talk about more.
We can get into it now if you want. Go for it.
Yeah, like just seeing the way Assar plays defense, and obviously he's only 6'6", 6'7", but he has like a 7-foot wingspan. Not the strongest yet, still kind of wiry strong, but in time, as he puts on more weight and has an even easier time guarding centers, I would be kind of interested to see potentially in the future, assuming he continues to put on weight and has more of a serviceable 3-point shot, what he could look like at a small ball 5, and then you move Isaiah to the 4, and he hasn't really had a ton of opportunities to shoot the ball, and he's not like, obviously he's not like a Brook Lopez from 3, but allowing Isaiah to play a little bit more stretch 4 and possibly seeing what Assar could do at like a small ball 5 would be interesting to me.
They did that last night for a little bit, I noticed.
Yes. So that's why I was like, okay, like could be kind of fun to watch. And this, not anything that would be like a starting unit thing. This is just like in minutes when Duren is off the floor and you want your bench unit to get some more minutes. So I kind of saw that last night and was interested to see how that could look.
It's funny because a lot of fans last year were calling him mini Dennis Rodman. Because just the way he crashes the glass, like he can guard 1 through 5. He had a couple of blocks last night where I was just like, second game back and he's doing that. Like, I can't wait till his conditioning is up, because I know they're doing like the little 3 to 4 minute spurts. And you can kind of see him panting during timeouts. Like he's still trying to get his conditioning up, and obviously that's to be expected, missing several months not playing basketball. But I like where your head is at, though. I would definitely like to explore like that small ball 5. I think it'd be really fun.
Yeah, not necessarily right now, like a ton of times, but as he gets stronger, as he gets more experience, because he's still just so new to the NBA game.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be something that could definitely explore. Like some people had mentioned in the chat, like Draymond Green, a PJ Tucker role, in terms of just kind of like playing like that small ball 5, which I think they could definitely do. And I mean, his shot looks pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. Like Fred Vincent's been working his magic with him. I can tell. Like just the release points a lot higher.
Yeah, those two. Ron is usually in that group when they're shooting at practice and stuff. They work on a lot of corner threes because they know generally like what spots they'll be on. Excuse me. And I think his jumper looks really good. He just needs more live reps in games, which is to be expected. And even there was like a point in the game against the Pacers that I wrote on a couple nights ago where Cade went to him twice. He missed really bad. Cade went to him a third time. And I talked to Assar about that in the locker room, and he was like, before I even got the third one, like I knew if I got it again, I was going to shoot it again. So I think that's a good mentality to have for sure.
Yeah, during that timeout, I think it was a minute like after that, like Fred Vincent like literally mobbed Assar, like giving him a high five, like reinforcing. I was like, dude, like keep shooting it. Like, I think just in a small sample size with corner threes, he's shooting like 40% from 3 so far. Which, I mean, really, really small sample size. But, I mean, if you get, like, 30-ish, I think most fans would be happy. Because last year he wasn't shooting too well from 3. And I think that was, like, kind of like a big knock out of him coming out of the draft. But, there's another position that I think he could play. I don't know. We kind of saw it a couple of games this week of possibly getting, like, on-ball reps. You think maybe they don't get a backup point guard? Could you see Assar taking more, point guard duties?
I think that might be just a lot to ask of him. He may be capable in spurts, but I would probably want someone who's more just been ball dominant. And he has in his life, but I wouldn't consider him much of a point guard per se. So I would want him to just I would want him to be allowed to continue to like focus on his game before he has to like start making reads and running the show offensively. I would want him to get more comfortable scoring and shooting the ball and whatnot.
Because I know he did have a little bit of lead guard duties in the Overtime Elite League a little bit. So I think a lot of fans were saying like, well, maybe he could play point guard, kind of like a point forward.
Mm-hmm.
I think in spurts it looks good, but there are a couple possessions yesterday where he's just kicking himself because it was just he didn't fully have control of the ball, and you could like literally hear him on TV just like drop the F bomb like every time he made a mistake. Like you could tell like he was really into it. Like I love
He's
it.
he's someone who's hard on himself, and um, to his credit, like by the time they let us in the locker room last night, he was like staring at his phone, and I was like, I thought his brother was playing because those two obviously are really close, and I thought he was
Yeah.
watching his brother. And I just kind of asked, like, what are you doing right now if you're not watching your brother? And he said he was already watching film on himself. So he's someone who wants to be good.
Yeah, I mean, I had the opportunity to talk to their older brother Troy Thompson, and like just the type of players both the Thompson twins are is just like I think they're gonna be like I know Draymond and Green touched on it last year. Like those two have like got next. Like they're gonna be dogs. Like
Yeah.
straight up. Like if they develop some sort of jump shot. Like I know some people were calling them like Kawhi Leonard light last
Yeah.
night, just with his shooting and stuff like that. But definitely glad we did get to kind of touch on like the small ball five because I actually wrote that down in my game notes last night
Oh,
because I was like, hey, that's something that maybe they could do down the line. You never know.